Hello, welcome to this exciting late morning taste challenge. We have two bourbon whiskeys, both from the same company, Sazerac, the Sazerac Company, under different aliases. This is the cream colored cap and labeled 10 High blended bourbon whiskey, Kentucky bourbon whiskey, a blend. Sorry, there's Hiram Walker. It says 1879. Yeah, well, that's when Hiram Walker Company was started, the Hiram Walker Company, but they got bought out by Barton later on, and now Sazerac owns Barton. Bottled in California and Kentucky by, it says right here. No, does it? Doesn't say. Interesting. But it does say 51% straight whiskey, 4 years or more old, and 49% grain neutral spirits. It's a sour mash blended bourbon whiskey, and it's, like I said, bottled by Barton Distilling, California and Kentucky, but that's owned by the Sazerac Company. 80 proof. I don't think this is still produced, but with that company, you never know. You just never know. This bottle was covered with dust. I found it in a local store. They had two left. Well, they had a lot of 10 High, but it was the bourbon with natural flavorings, old label and current label with the eagle, America's native spirit label, the eagle. Oh, you can find that fairly easily. Like I said, local store here, 10 High, bourbon with natural flavors. But I wanted the one I had done years ago, the blended bourbon, okay? Doesn't say natural flavors added, but then it doesn't have to. With blended bourbon, you can add natural flavors and coloring, and you don't have to talk about it. Okay, so it could have caramel coloring, making it look darker than it really should be. But a 4-year-old straight bourbon would be dark like that. I don't know about if you blend it with 49% grain neutral spirits, which are clear, odorless, and colorless. Here's a competitor, the elusive, never to be seen in Louisiana, in my experience, ancient age 10-star Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, meaning no coloring can be added, no flavoring can be added, aged 3 years. Now, the website says it's a 6-year aged. Probably they have a 6-year age, but I found a 3-year age. Okay, it was like $13.99. And the company says it's been around since 1946, but I have information to prove that it's 1936. They got it wrong. It's been around since 1936. Okay, so $13.99, $9.99. Blended bourbon is a lower grade of bourbon, really, than straight bourbon. But, you know, they're both bourbon, so there you go. There is a website link to this, and I posted at greatbourbons.com, which runs from Pappy Van Winkle down to Benchmark. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, 90 proof, not 80 proof. There's also a regular ancient age 90 proof, not ancient age, just ancient age, same bottle, 90 proof. Not the 10-star. I don't know what makes it different from this. In Louisiana, what do we get with ancient age? We get the regular 80 proof, 3-year age, cream colored bottle label. And we get ancient age preferred, blended whiskey, 80 proof. I don't know who prefers it. Funny thing about it, it's more expensive than the straight bourbon. That's something. Black label. You'll usually pay a few dollars more for ancient age black label preferred in Louisiana than you will for the ancient age. Same thing with Seagram's 83. You're going to pay more for that than ancient age, which is Kentucky straight bourbon. I can't explain it. I can't stand it. I didn't plan it. Okay. The 10 High is much lighter. It's amber, and this one is copper. It's deeper copper. Didn't need labels really because it's so. If I see the dark one, I'm gonna know what it is. If I see the darker one, I'm gonna know. I wish they sold ancient age 10 star in Louisiana, but like I said, I've never seen it. I found it at a place called Bonita Plaza Liquors on Mississippi State Highway 19, northbound, just south of Interstate 59 in Meridian, Mississippi. Nice liquor store if you ever want to go to Bonita Plaza. You don't have to go shopping around for prices because Mississippi is what they call a control state. All the liquor prices are set by the state. So much for free enterprise and competition, right? So it's not like you say, oh no, but they had it on sale at Bonita Plaza and Fleischmann's or whatever that other liquor store is, that famous one, kind of a German sounding name on the west side of town. Yeah, but see, they're going to have the same sale because the state will say, okay, this month we'll have a sale on it. Louisiana doesn't have those kind of rules. I don't know what rules Louisiana has. I found Canadian blended whiskey, a whole handle, huge bottle, jug bottle. I call them jug bottles. $5. True story. That's clearly less than cost. Somebody told me, a store manager told me that it's illegal to sell any liquor or beer in Louisiana for less than cost. Apparently, that law is not enforced. And how would you enforce it? I mean, it ain't like those people put that on the internet. They just had it on the counter. $5. So I bought 2 bottles. There was only 2 bottles they had. I bought them. Yeah. Corn, a little rye. Sazerac tends to be known to have a high rye content. People claim they don't release their mash bills. So I don't know where they're getting this information. Yeah, not a whole lot of aroma. So I know this has got to be the ancient age, because it has aroma. But we're not going to be presumptuous this time. Last time I got it on aroma only, meaning this morning. Let's go with the taste, just for kicks. Charred oak, sweet corn. Now they're both sour mash. Sazerac, they do a lot of sour mash. I guess that's what they like to do, Gets that like sourdough bagel flavor. Seems like it's got a pretty deep char. Can you get a really nice bourbon for $13.99? I mean, a really nice one. Yeah, here it is. Ancient age. Of course, you can't find it. So, well, I was gonna say another one, but that's really not that one's not that great. It's decent though for $8.99 straight bourbon. 10 high. All right. Some people prefer the blended because they're milder and they don't have the heavy char and they're like real smooth. And I say they bland, they're bland. But some people say, oh, it's so mild. It's more suited for what I like. Okay, well, that's why they make it. It's there on the shelf. Got it right. Dam's Lifestyle says hi, and Icy Blue says Ron for president. I would like to be the president of the United States. I think I have some great ideas, and I think I would be not the best. I mean, I'm not going to be the best, but I could be close. I'll never lie to you. I really wouldn't lie to you. And if I did, I'd be the first one to admit it. But I'd be so accessible to everybody, Is it worth paying the extra $4 for the ancient age 10 star 90 proof? And you can tell because you can tell it's stronger proof. It is worth it. It is worth it. But I can't find it in this whole state that I've been able to determine. So it's a moot point. I have to drive 3 hours, and that's a minimal time because there's sometimes holdups. 3 hours to Meridian, Mississippi to get it. Now, could it possibly be available in Picayune, Mississippi at a liquor store that I've never visited right there across the state line in and that would only be an hour away. Hour and a half. It's possible. You know, I never thought about that until just now. I found it in Meridian, but if it's there, it may be all over Mississippi. But I'll still drive an hour and a half to go find it. I don't think so. But I do pass through Meridian and Laurel and Hattiesburg and Picayune quite often. Macomb is over there, another hour, same distance, Macomb. They might have it. I never went to a liquor store in Macomb. I don't know. Do I like the idea of Mississippi having a control set up where the state sets the liquor prices and all that? No, I don't like it. I don't live there. Can't buy any liquor on Sunday. I don't even know if you can buy beer on Sunday. Some of the counties are still dry. Can't buy any alcohol, beer, or wine in the whole county. Mississippi was a totally dry state until 1963, 60 years ago. Couldn't buy alcohol at all in the whole state. Of course, Louisiana is right next door, so you know what was right across the state line on every highway. First thing you saw when you crossed the highway, you know it. It's like Arkansas and Missouri. And Missouri is much less restrictive on alcohol than Arkansas, okay? Arkansas is one of those fanatical, real strict states. Can't buy any alcohol on Sunday, not even beer, unless you're in a restaurant, which is collusion with the government. You see, that's not following the principles of American freedom, because it's supposed to be for the general welfare, not specific welfare. In other words, people that's juiced in with the government. But I don't know. I don't control Arkansas, even though it used to be part of Louisiana, but that's another story. But if you go on any highway in Arkansas and you're traveling north, like say United States Highway 61, as soon as you cross under that arch, it's a big concrete arch built in like 1923. Like 1918, I think. It's really something to see. Everybody stops and takes photos of it. One side says Arkansas, the other side says Missouri. You know, it's kind of a tourist attraction. And it's free because you just drive underneath it. But as soon as you cross underneath that arch, you know what you're going to see on the northbound side of the highway? 1, 2, 3, 4 liquor stores, whatever, wide open all day long, all night long, even on Sunday, I think. And every license plate is going to say what? Well, you know what it's going to say. Mississippi's strict. You can't buy beer above 10%. If you go buy Four Loko in Mississippi, why are you buying Four Loko? But if you buy Four Loko or juice, which they don't sell in Louisiana, it's 10%. 10%. Can't get 14%. Funny, huh? Oh, well. I live in a state where the restrictions are seemingly not in existence. Well, we have some law. We have some rules. Like in this parish here, we don't have counties, we have parishes, all right? So in this parish, you can't buy any beer, wine, or liquor between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. on any day. Why is that? Because the parish government said, oh, they have too many fights and shootings and people getting drunk and fighting at the bars between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. They said that's always when it happens. It was like 90% of it. So they outlawed it. And funny thing is, you don't really hear about that kind of trouble anymore. I'm serious about that. I don't support regulations, but that is true. Don't really hear about a lot of stuff going on like you used to. All right, but anyway, you say, oh, because they all went to the neighboring parish. They all went to the neighboring parish that doesn't have the rule. Probably so, cutting up over there and making trouble. But anyway, Ham. The clear and present winner, ancient age. I'm sorry, ancient age, 10 star, not age 10 years. Age 3 is. Why do they put 10s and 8s and 12s and 7s on these liquor labels? Is that to deceive you? That's a good question. None of those labels say that it's technically aged. Old Charter, look at the label. It does not say age 8 years. It just said number 8 recipe. But could it be that they're thinking the customer is goofy and is not going to look and think 8 year? Yeah, probably so. People don't read the labels. Most people that buy beer don't check dates. I do, usually. I've been burned too many times on those stale beers. All right. Yeah, it's got that chime bottle. Now, this bottle is, people always say, that thing looks like a Jack Daniels bottle. Yeah, that's why Jack Daniels changed their bottle, because everybody was starting to make these kind of mimic type things. So Jack Daniels came out with the bottles with the real sharp corners. But I don't even know why they would try to mimic Jack Daniels. Ain't nobody in the world going to be fooled. Nobody's going to think, oh, is this a type of Jack Daniels? Ew, what is it? But these companies like to play fast and loose with each other, We don't use corn syrup in our beer. We use rice. Unlike those other people down the road, those inferior Milwaukee people with their corn syrup beer, unlike our beautiful verdant rice beer. Although we do make a whole bunch of other beers with high fructose corn syrup, which we don't bother mentioning in this commercial, but we're talking about the famous King of Beers and its younger brother, the light King of Beers. All right. Anyway, so sorry, 10 High, you've won no contest so far, not a single one. But the good thing is you got a lot more chances, but in reality, you're probably not going to win a single one. So you want to watch a lot of defeats, get ready to watch a whole series of beatdowns. But 10 High, it's not out there to win. It's just out there to collect a lot of dust on the bottle, because that's what I saw. I had to wipe off the dust and come home and clean it. I don't know. What do I know for 10 High?